Do you like Korean makeup? Hey, Dr. Will Kim, dermatology resident here. Come follow along as I show you how I achieve this Korean idol-inspired makeup by Mool detail Sohn before I go to my friend Natasha's birthday dinner. I'm going to be going through my skin prep pretty quickly today. I went in with 5 steps. The first step was the COSRX 6 Peptide Skin Booster. I went ahead and followed that with the Madagascar Centella Ampoule. My third was Prequel half and half peptide fluid moisturizer. Vitamin C that I had used for this makeup look was the Vanicream Vitamin C. Lastly, I went in with sunscreen, and my sunscreen was the Round Lab First Juice Moisturizing Sunscreen. I'm going to be starting with the e.l.f. Power Grip Matte Primer. This is one of my favorite primers. It isn't the best texture, but it works in keeping your makeup last all day and also just looking nice and fresh. It's not super mattifying in my experience, but it is mattifying enough where I feel like it does the job really well and helps my makeup look great throughout the day. Now that we've done our primer, I'm going to move into foundation. And for foundation, because it's going to be a fun going out look, I'm going to bring out the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I like to mix the shades light medium 4.5 and light 5. I primarily use 4.5 and then I add a tiny bit of 5 and a little bit of my Prequel. This much so you can see. I'm feeling like taking a little fluffy brush and just dipping into it, getting it nice and evenly coated on my fluffy brush and going in and starting to do little swipes. And really focusing on the center of my face as I do this too. This foundation is just so beautiful. It's really lightweight. I know that they recently reformulated the Giorgio Armani one. This is the original formulation, so I haven't tried the new one yet, but I've heard mixed reviews about the new one. I'm excited to try it, but also sad because I really do like this old formulation a lot. Here is my foundation. It hasn't covered everything. I have a blemish right here that I did pop earlier today, even though I'm not supposed to pop my pimples. I'm human. It's something that I really try not to do, but sometimes it happens. When it happens, I ideally like to place a hydrocolloid bandage, one of those pimple patches on top, but because I'm going to this birthday dinner, I didn't do it because I knew that I was gonna apply a little bit of makeup. Foundation, I'm done with that part. We're gonna move now into concealer. For concealer, Natasha Denona HY-Glam concealer, and I do want to color correct a little bit, so I'm gonna grab this C2 color corrector and apply it to the back of my hand like this. Grab a little flatter brush, the Just Up Mool 16 brush, dip into that color corrector, and apply to areas where I want to color correct a little bit. So right here I have some discoloration, as well as some of my beard hair. And you can see too, as I'm applying it, it already is masking some of that green color. Grab a cushion puff and tap color corrector in. I don't know what it is about these cushion puffs, but I just love them so much. I do have some beauty blenders too, and I use that sometimes, but I almost feel like the reason why I like these cushion puffs better is that for me, they just seem a little bit easier to clean versus those beauty blenders. They're just a little bit more difficult for me to clean. I think I just haven't figured out the right way to clean it yet. Now that I've done that color corrector, I'll go in with the actual concealer I'm going to be using, Natasha Denona BN5. So I put just a little bit on the back and I already dipped it on my brush. Nose. I like to place a little bit here for lifting the marionette line, as well as right here. Just gives a nice little lift. Cushion puff to blend this out. The Giorgio Armani foundation is also another foundation that seems to have never really creased on me or gotten patchy or cakey. I'm really grateful to have found this foundation, and it was through the recommendation of one of my co-residents, Desiree. And so thank you so much, Desiree, for sharing this foundation and product line with me because it's been absolutely wonderful. The majority of my concealer that I've just done to highlight and bring forward different areas of my face is done, but I do want to move on into concealing some imperfections that I have today, just from breaking out and whatnot. I'm going to be using the Nars Pot Concealer, shade Medium 1 Custard. Here's my Custard. I think this is going to last me like forever because I've used it a bunch of times and it looks almost brand new. I'm going to grab a much smaller brush, Just Up Mool 19 brush. I'm going to dip into I'm going to apply very little on areas where I want to conceal. Right there, the pimple that I popped. And then up here too, I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation. This type of brush, it's a really good brush for like eyeliner, little wing eyeliner, especially with like eyeshadow and whatnot. This might not be the best brush for a concealer like this one. What I'm going to do is sit back and kind of let this somewhat dry down, just a hint. Then I'm going to go in with my finger and blend this out. Let me go ahead and blend up here. This is such a beautiful concealer. Next, what I'm going to do is go ahead and just set all of this. Makeup by Mario. Fair pink for those areas that I highlighted, and also shade 2, which is neutral light for the areas where I covered blemishes. I'm going to grab a fluffy brush. This is just a Mool 6 brush. I already dipped it right into the powder, but I'm just going to swirl a little bit. Tap off the excess into my hand, swirl, and tap. A little bit more, swirl, tap off the excess, and then now here too. Move on into Makeup by Mario in shade 2, neutral light. Back of my swirl, tap off the excess. Anywhere where you had put a little bit of your concealer to cover acne marks or blemishes, dark marks, you really do want to just use a tiny bit of powder afterwards to lock it into place. Otherwise, I found that the concealer that you have used, even if it is one that claims to be self-setting, it can still kind of move on you. This helps to ensure that the concealer you place stays where you have placed it. We're all done with this powder now, and I'm going to move on into doing some contour. Let's bring back some dimension into our face. Amber Suede by Fenty Beauty. This one has been a rock star recently for me, and I found that applying it directly onto is not bad. Let's go ahead and blend this all out. The Sigma Powder Sculpt brush. The shape already is in somewhat of a bronze contour shape. I'm gonna mostly tap, but sometimes I do swipe too. Sometimes I like to do a mixture movement where I press but also swipe. I'm gonna move over to a smaller, flat, fluffy brush, Sigma E40 Tapered Blending. And then here I will blend out my nose. A larger brush for bronzing, when I blend it out, works not bad, but sometimes I think with contour, you do need just a tiny bit more precision, especially on the nose. The smaller brush is gonna help me fine tune that as I blend it out and tap it out right now. And lastly, take my same cushion puff from before, and any edges of the contour, I'm gonna blend it out a little more. Awesome. For Blush Conceal, Blush and Protect, this one is in shade Bahati, which is beautiful. Natural pink mauve, dusty rose. I put it right on the back of my hand. Grab the Sigma F76 chiseled cheek brush and dip straight into my blush. Get it nice and evenly coated. Beautiful. And then just start tapping the blush where I want it. I think today I want to bring the blush a little bit more to the center too. Oh, I like it. So soft and pretty. I'm gonna just do a little bit more since this is a nighttime look. Just another swipe here. Dip. Pretty. I'm gonna grab my cushion puff. I think that is so pretty. A little bit of blush left. I'm just gonna add it to some other areas where I do like to add the blush too. Because today's look is all on the blush, I want to use the same color on my eyes. Some people are susceptible to acne cosmetica around the eyes from especially the red pigments in makeup. So be careful when you're using a blush around the eyes. I'm just gonna try it today and see if I break out, but this is not gonna be suitable for everyone using the same blush that you use on your eyes. I want to now move on into eyeshadow. I'm going to use the Master Mattes Makeup by Mario in neutral, this one. I want to use this more for definition, and I'm not going to use too much from this palette today. I'm going to grab the Mool 12 brush and then dip into this darker shade right here. Ooh, this is dark. Gray purpley. At my lower crease, on the edge, I'm going to just place a little bit. And then blend that out. I'm going to grab this Sephora brush, and then I'm going to dip into that same gray kind of purpley shade down here. And connect this now. Perfect. I'm going to use this eyeliner E03 brush by Sigma. Oof, I like that. Kind of made my eyes just a little bit smoky. I am going to do a little bit of eyelining today. I'm going to use this Urban Decay one, shade Perversion Black. Mool Just Up 20 brush. It's really fine. Grab a little bit. Oh, love that. Grab a clean little brush, the Define brush by Real Techniques. Grab that same neutrals palette, but this black one, dip, you can do it, dip. And then I'm gonna use this just to set that eyeliner I had just applied. Just stamp it. Nothing crazy, because my eyes are a little bit more hooded. The top skin sometimes touches. I'm gonna brush out any areas. Dior highlighter palette 1 Universal. I'm gonna use this white color to get into my tear duct and just to give it a nice highlight. Just like that. I'm going to use this gold shade to the center of my eyes and just to give it a little bit of sparkle. I'm going to now grab the darker highlight finger and blend out those edges. Apply just a hint of that lightest highlight I had used, this one, right underneath here. Tiny bit right here. Kosas Dreamland Blushes Life, this one. Go over the blush I had already used to set it. Sigma F10 powder brush, dip into here. Tap off the excess. Almost like bronze in it too, this blush, so it helps with that sun-kissed look that I decided to go for today. Smaller fluffy brush and go over my eyes just a tiny bit, not a lot. And really more up here. Just ties the look together. Back to my eyeliner that I had done earlier and just extend it. So a little bit of that same black eyeliner. Eyelining's all done. Let's move on into our lips. For lip makeup by Mario in Smoky Pink, line our lips. And then I'm gonna use the other side, just blend everything out. For the actual lip, Peri Para shade 20, which is like brown. This one, it kind of seems more red to me. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a brown red. Finger. Kind of a strong color, but it'll fade a little bit. I am now going to curl my eyelashes real quick. To curl my eyelashes, Heroin Make, very natural, mascara. All right, so mascara's done. Next, we're gonna move on now into our brows. For brows, I'm gonna use the Brow Pop in black today. The spoolie, brush everything up. Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel. A tiny bit of setting powder, the Makeup by Mario 2 in Neutral Light. Any areas where I know I'm gonna get a little bit oily. Move on into my setting spray. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Take my trusty fan. Ooh, and you know what I wanted to do today was draw on some freckles. Something that I have never done before. I just thought it'd be really fun to give it a try. I'm gonna use the Heroin Make waterproof. I don't know if it's really coming out on camera, but I just drew a little bit of freckles, not that many. My one size Chick the Stuff. A little bit of finishing powder next. Grab the Flawless Charlotte Tilbury and just go over areas to just really blur out the skin and finish this makeup look. Okay, you guys, here's my final look for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I had so much fun doing this nighttime makeup look. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below what you thought. And if you want to see more nighttime looks, I'm happy to share more looks with you all. Until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Bye!